Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Cracks. In this one we're going to be discussing Suicide Squads.
Yeah.
So to begin discussions, we are each going to describe the film in one single sentence.
Dun, dun, dun.
This will be our way of introducing ourselves today. So the first person to do this is going to be, drumroll, Adam.
Alright. You've all seen, you all know where I quoted this from. Suicide Squad was ambitious but rubbish.
Okay, next. I will go. Suicide Squad is a plot driven by a cast of misfits that goes nowhere despite starting to. James.
It is a big lie, but Harley Quinn is fit.
Yes, Margot Robbie. Right, so leading the way, we're going to talk about the characters.
Okay.
Let's go through the squad.
Batman.
Batman, because Batman was not in the squad, so
Well,
let's
he was
not
in-
go through the squad.
He was in the movie.
Batman was a minor cameo, so let's get on. Come on, let's talk about the squad, the Suicide Squad themselves.
He was a bit chic.
Let's talk about Randall Flagg. Is it Randall Flagg?
Rick
the leader.
Flag.
Oh, he was the worst character of them all.
I quite liked him.
No.
I thought
His dialogue was the worst. When Will Smith, Deadshot, was like, he said something like, "Oh, what the hell are those?" And he basically just retorted, "Load up, we've got to fight," and just walked off. It was like, so
Seems like he should be in a G.I. Joe movie.
yeah, like yeah.
Well, also I thought it's as he said in the film, he was a soldier. Like he was used to giving orders and taking orders. He wasn't used to explaining himself. Like it's very much A equals B. That's the end of it.
Yeah,
And I thought he portrayed that side of a soldier very well. I mean, I doesn't say all soldiers are like that, but
soldiers are also humans.
yes, I know. And what I'm saying is they've played into the cliche idea of a soldier being a robot that just follows and gives orders. Like I know plenty of soldiers in life. I know soldiers aren't like that, but
There's plenty of soldiers in movies that aren't like that.
He's the straight,
Yeah,
clean cut
No, he
part
isn't.
of the group, though.
No, he
compared.
isn't. He's just as much as a douchebag as the rest of them.
well, he's not a criminal.
He needs to get. They need. I suppose they need that in that group dynamic. They need the guy who's trying to steer the ship.
Yeah, but he was the worst guy in the whole film. I hated him. I just wanted Deadshot just to blow his head off.
What about Deadshot then? Spoiler: Will Smith.
He was alright, Deadshot.
I thought Will Smith was trying very, very hard.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing bad.
And I think, and this film made it very apparent. Will Smith is not a bad guy. He cannot act a bad guy.
No.
He always has to have some redeeming.
Although, no, he did do alright in acting the bad guy in Hancock.
No, he acted a dickhead in Bangkok. He wasn't the bad guy.
He was for part of it.
No, he wasn't.
Everyone
the
was
villain.
after him.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
wasn't.
but
the
no,
villain, he
his
just didn't
his
care.
the
He was indifferent.
unlovable main character is no actual.
Yeah, but
bad.
that attitude would work well with a villain. That's his bad guy. The dickhead that just doesn't care.
No, well, it may have sold it for you, but for at least for me, it didn't. At least I wasn't buying it. I thought Will Smith was too Will Smith. In short, like Will Smith's a nice guy, like he's a decent character, like in reality, and you just couldn't. He may be typecast now into playing good guys and fairly stable people, but for Deadshot at least, I think he was one of the highlights of the film by far, but also at the same time he didn't sell a villain. They sold an anti-hero to me. And the Suicide Squad was meant to be villains, not anti-heroes or fallen heroes.
Yeah.
Alright, what about Killer Croc?
Oh no, he was rubbish as well. Like they tried to make him funny.
He was humorous.
He wasn't.
No?
No. Every time he said something, I just thought like his voice is too auto-tuned to understand, to make him sound like a crocodile, and he didn't do enough in the film to warrant.
Okay, Diablo.
The fire guy.
Yeah.
He was the coolest guy in it.
It was, especially when he took his final form at the end.
Yeah, when he went all Mayan warrior on him. That was awesome.
Yeah.
He also had a bit of a character arc as well. Would you say he's actually one of the only other than Deadshot, he was probably perhaps the only one of the entire gang that had a character arc.
Well, no, Harley Quinn did.
Did she have a character arc, or was
More
it
of
just?
a just a story.
She was once a professional psychiatrist.
But that wasn't. You didn't really get that character arc in the film, though, did you?
And then she
Like-
went through all this like Stockholm syndrome with the Joker, and then she is the result of that now. It's just like she's lost herself as who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about
Enchantress.
Enchantress? Come on, we'll talk about Enchantress, who is
Can she act?
the villain.
She was pretty cool.
The actress did well in Paper Towns, playing Margot. Quite liked her there, but as for this film, she did alright in this film, didn't she? But there was nothing. She wasn't
She didn't
much
have
of a
much to
villain.
say.
She was all.
So just speaking in a
She,
different
it was all with the villains. They were all show, weren't they? There was nothing.
Yeah.
But they did better than Marvel for villains, at least. I think.
No, because they're going down that whole OP villain, gang of misfits. You know what I mean? Like it did that in Superman. They've done it in every film so
No,
far.
I mean-
It's regurgitated crap.
I mean, purely for this film, like with the Enchantress and her brother, because she has a brother. Do you not think they were better than like generally a lot of Marvel villains? Don't get me wrong, they were still throwaway.
No, they were good villains, but not good villains for Suicide Squad.
Why? Because they were too powerful, too magical.
They were just in a different world to the Suicide Squad. That's why, from the trailers and from my expectations, I was hoping the Joker was going to be the bad guy.
No, I agree with you on that. I think the Joker would have made a better bad guy
Yeah.
if he was the overall villain. If he
It
had
has
been
some overarching plot, some master plan that just
exactly, yeah.
Because they sold all the
tears
trailers
it out.
with the Joker screaming around the
Yeah,
corner
no,
in a
there's
purple
one. There's
Lamborghini.
ones of him looking crazy with like tuxedo and shit, and then
Yeah.
just going around. And
Well, before we get sidetracked by the Joker, Captain Boomerang.
Oh my god, who is he?
Well, yeah, that was generally the thing. Was he was
Jai Courtney.
yeah. They were so out there with this choice, weren't they? I think.
Literally, this actor that Hollywood is trying to throw down everyone's throats and like no one likes.
Oh, I don't mind him. He's all right.
I didn't care for him in the movie.
Yeah, no, I like some of his character. He has a habit of playing. He's played really bad characters in almost everything.
Right.
This is a bit of a different step, though. It's a bit more actual character to him, it seems. Instead of just the ex-marine, the fucking John McClane's son.
Yeah,
All the
no,
same character he's played since.
he still wasn't much. He was just there, and his powers,
Literally,
his
the
demons.
guy's agent. It must be the best in the fucking world because he seems to get in jobs all the time.
Yeah. No, Captain Boomerang was well. Hopefully, you'd throw him away and he wouldn't come back. No.
Hey.
Right, come on then, let's do it. Let's talk about the Joker.
I liked him.
What do you like about the Joker?
It's a more relevant representation to the cartoons. And excuse me, I need to burp. And he was just that kind of
More of a comic book character.
yeah.
Not just-
Whereas Heath Ledger was very dark and
It was just
Gritty.
sinister serial killer, unhinged guy, like out of his mind. Seems
Yeah.
like this one is more actual comic book character. Just in a sense of ways, I don't know.
yeah. But where the way Heath Ledger was like dark and gritty, this one's more like spontaneous and like neon lights, and it's all like
nutty, flashy.
it's like a wacky horror house. What
Goes
they
well
call
with the
Funhouse.
film. That's I think it's just that's what they threw him in there to inject the life into this film and like give this whole like.
Do you know the Smiler
Look
from,
about
from
it.
Alton Towers that chops someone's leg off?
Mm,
Have you been to it? Have you been on the?
I've not been on it, I don't think.
Yeah, I had the theme tune to it. It's all like manic laughter and
Yeah.
flashing lights and different colours and all sorts. It's like Mad Hatter.
Right.
That's what it is. This new Joker is a bit more Mad Hatter.
No, you see, I don't think he was. I think he was just weird. And I said this to you guys independently of the recording, but he was just weird. I don't think he injected any life into the film at all. I think whenever he was on it, I think he actually derailed the film because they tried to showcase him. They tried to prove that Jared Leto could do a good job of being the Joker, but by doing so, they did derail it. They showed you like the point in the nightclub, like where he just was insensibly crazy the way he was talking. I couldn't understand what he was saying as well sometimes because he was just like slurring his words. It wasn't like for what you want to say about him being a more comic book. He wasn't. He was just. I think Jared Leto did the best he could with a bad rendition, in short, and I think he really method acted the hell out of it, but it didn't do any favors. I don't think he really fit with the film at all.
No,
I think
he
they
should have
tried.
had his own film.
They tried too hard to make him sort of West Side ghetto gangster Joker and really play into the clown prince of crime. But I don't think they played into the sort of the prince side of that, and they just ended up being some very sort of like he was the pop star version of the Joker in my opinion, rather than perhaps the rock and roll or the Motown like the Joker, like Ledger's Joker. I just don't think I can see. Like I said, he did a fair job, but ultimately I don't think he added anything to the film. I think he took time away from that could have been spent with the actual characters. He was too unhinged. He was too weird. He was just absolutely weird. I couldn't imagine what it'd be like having to live with him on set. Like the stories of him like giving used condoms.
It's all just PR shit.
What?
Yeah,
he sent them used condoms.
Who?
Jared Leto sent his co-stars used condoms and other weird shit. Did he send anything dead?
Yeah, like dead birds.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because he's Joker the whole time during filming. There's no Jared Leto. There's a fucking problem with having a method actor become the Joker. It's like it's not just a normal like some random character. It's the fucking Joker and him being him all the time. Which I don't. Yeah.
It wasn't very like with Ledger's Joker, with Nicholson's Joker. They were the Joker. Like they were a Joker. There was joy and there was humour.
I can see from what I've seen. Like, I agree with you saying it looks like he's just trying so hard.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That he lost. He didn't have the Joker side. That wasn't a joke. It wasn't.
I think that's why. Yeah, I don't. Maybe not method acting as this character is. Yeah, the way to go.
There was none of the humour to take the edge off this really sinister person. I think that's where they did the Joker a disservice.
Do you know? I find it funny that his whole mob was dressed in like bloody koala bears and
it was droll.
Funny masks.
It was droll.
He literally had a panda bear walking through a factory with a machine gun shooting everyone up.
Yeah, but it was too obvious. It wasn't like let me show you a magic trick. It wasn't pull out a huge gun out of your pants and have it take out the Batarang. It wasn't Joker. It was just like we'll just throw in a token bit of stupidness.
Yeah, I think you're expecting like sort of Roadrunner kind of.
No, I'm not. I'm expecting something that plays into wit and it's got class. The Joker was always class in the comic books. The Joker's humour was always class. It may have been Acme, but it was always classy humour. This Joker, there was no humour. There was no. All of it was very much just a case of skin deep, like someone wearing a panda bear to go and shoot place up. Ha ha, very funny. Like there's no thought behind that. It's not funny. It's just we'll do something random and weird to try and be funny.
It's like try and be hipster.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to defend him because I do agree with you. But I really want to see this Joker have his own film because I think
I'd like them
this
to.
Style can be pulled off.
I'd love them to show all his method act, his just improvisation of all the deleted scenes that they've cut out because I've heard there's so much cut out of this film, so much, and a lot of it was him.
He did just get out of prison in this film, and then he was after Harley Quinn, wasn't he?
No, the Joker wasn't in prison at all.
He just got back. That's why he killed that guy in the club. He's like, look, we've been looking after things. We know he got back.
Was it? I couldn't understand what was going on.
What was that? No, that was a flashback, wasn't it? To when he got out, thanks to Harley Quinn.
I don't know if he'd even got out thanks to. Oh, you mean because he'd been in Arkham Asylum?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, no, yeah. So that mutes my point. Doesn't matter.
What else? What about Viola Davis? Is it Viola Davies, the lady that brings them all together?
Amanda Waller.
Amanda Waller, yeah, she was. I liked her character at the start, but that bit where she just executes the people that are helping her in the top of the building, I just thought, what's this about? Like,
it's because nobody thought she was in charge, but she had to be darker than the guys that she's in charge of.
Yeah, but why? Like, what did it serve at all? It was just.
And then the guy, Buddy Flag, was like, "Yeah, it's alright, I understand. I've had to bury my mistakes too." Meh.
Yeah,
like,
right. So
shut up.
It's a case of they're condemning these villains. Like Flag treats them like shit. She treats them like shit, and yet
They're both just as bad.
they're exactly the same. Like you can't have a character that condemns someone as strongly as they do. Just like that, and then go and do exactly the same things. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Like her motivation was that she shouldn't have let them see what was going on in the first place. But hang on here, like why? What's the point of that? It was completely sensitive. It was done for shock value, like you said, just to prove that she had bigger balls than a lot of them. But I would have found that more believable had she been able to control them without having to do any of those things.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, she'd have had
Because that should be more of the interesting part of the dynamic, isn't it? Like she's struggling to keep them in check.
Yeah.
Not just like simple as I'll just kill them to show them who's boss.
Pretty
kill
much.
someone. But
Also, that little iPad thing that he had in his arm to kill all the Suicide Squad if they do wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to push the button, and they're all terrified. Like, look, if we kill him, then we die. If we kill him, he can't push the button.
I was going to say,
Chop his arm off.
Well, I was going to say, Deadshot could put one between his eyes before he pushes the button.
Yeah, and also he smashes it on the side of the bar, and you would have thought all of them just die, but that breaks the machine. So all you got to do is just punch it and break it, and they're free.
It's a very intricate machine. It should be more of like a kill switch. It sounds a bit of
attached to him. If he dies,
like
then
something like linked to his heartbeat or just standard. Yeah. If he's not anything.
it was a bit naff.
It's a bit stupid.
It was
Some
all
things
a
like
bit
it should
naff.
definitely have been more of a kill switch, not.
And what about the music?
I love the soundtracks. All the music was good.
I thought it was too all over the place. Like I love a bit of, don't get me wrong, I love a good bit of music. It worked so well in Guardians of the Galaxy, which this film obviously is trying to
do its own spin on.
Yeah, it's trying to get this band of misfits that no one's really heard of and put them into a team together and do some cool stuff.
Hope first to strike gold.
But again, it's that, as I was going to sort of echo my points of the Joker, it's the class. Like all the songs in this were very sort of ghetto and.
I think they're trying to be hip. It's like a proper hipster film.
Yeah, they were trying so hard to be hip and to be flashy and stuff like that.
I see that even from the marketing,
but it didn't need it. Like Guardians of the Galaxy use songs that so much of our generation, like the younger generations, had never heard of, but it was so popular.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the Suicide Squad could have been like if Joker was a bad guy, this music stayed, and there was more of the. Did you see the bits where it was all like neon outlining, where they go through the characters, and it was all very neon?
Yeah, that style was really good. I agree with that.
If they held that through most of the film, it looked a bit more using neon colours, and it was a bit more wacky funhouse.
But it
would have been the best film ever. I would have loved it.
But you have grunge for that sort of music. Like that neon sort of is a bit more grunge, isn't it? And heavy metal. It's not pop. Do you understand what I'm saying? How there's a confusion of tone.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like the music. They remade the music. It might have been originally pop music, but it was like I don't know. I thought it did fit all right. They could have used better stuff. There was better, more appropriate music, but I don't think the music was a bad thing in it. No,
but like I said, I appreciate the fact they tried it, but I think they could have chosen better music. I mean, they could have chosen better music. They could have used it at more appropriate times as well, because it was literally a case of every time they introduced, because the first half of them was introducing all the characters.
Yeah.
And every time they introduced a new character, it was a new soundtrack, and it just got a bit. I don't know, when you go through like 8 characters one after the other, introducing every single one in one big show.
Yeah.
It's just like, here, have like a whole meal of exposition and choke on it for half an hour.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that was probably the better part of the film.
Yeah.
Because the fight and them going through the city to take on the Enchantress at the end, it was very very boring.
But I did like the way the Joker hijacked their helicopter on the way out. It just sort of like shows like he's a next level gangster, because none of the other mobs would have done that. Took out a military squad, hijacked a Chinook, and chewed up their enemy with a Gatling gun. Like, they're more like drive-bys, sort of. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was next level Joker.
Well, I'll say that they did one good thing with him,
Yeah,
and they established the fact that he was a threat.
Yeah.
Like, he busts into the prison at the end to get Harley Quinn out. He found the guy. Like, he was dangerous. Like, you can't debate that. They made the Joker very dangerous. He's a threat. Like, he works well. Like, he could threaten Superman. He could threaten Batman. Like, that's believable now after this film.
Yeah.
That he can do these things. What if you could change one thing to make it better? What would it have been?
Just one.
Rick Flag.
Yeah.
Just one.
Just one thing.
Change the fucking writing.
Yeah, get rid of Flag.
You would have got rid of. Would you a different actor, or because he's an integral part of the Suicide Squad in the comics?
Yeah, I would have kept the character. I would have changed the actor.
Don't like RoboCop.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
RoboCop.
he was alright in the new RoboCop, but he wasn't alright in this.
I think if I can only change one thing, because obviously there's huge problems with the plot and perhaps studio intervention or something like that, but I would have had less Joker. I'm open to the idea of having a separate Joker film, but I think he derailed this film too much. I think he was too much.
He was a tool. He was a marketing tool for the film to get butts in seats.
Yeah.
He literally was, because he's in like a third of the trailers, and then he's in 10 minutes of the film.
No, he's probably a bit more than that. Actually, he's a bit more significant than.
Yeah, he shows up a few times. But would you agree that if they'd got rid of Enchantress and made Joker the bad guy, it would have been a better film?
I couldn't say that until I saw more of Jared Leto's Joker. To be honest with you,
Right.
Like going into it after just seeing the trailers, yeah, I'd definitely say that. But after watching it, like I said, because I'm a bit shaky on how I think the Joker went, I'm not sure if I could say that, because he could have turned out to be just as bad. Like, because Enchantress was naff ultimately.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he would have, like, if more of him is actually good, if they don't need someone to, like Johnny Depp, or like someone who can act it with a bit more soul.
Yeah.
Because it was all very soulless, the entire film was all style and little substance.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. They were our thoughts on Suicide Squad. We'll be back soon with more reviews, more character stories. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the trailer. That's completely wrong.
Yeah.
Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening.